We are live, and it's been a minute.
It's been 3 weeks, hasn't it?
Something like that. Um, it feels weird. We're not doing anything Christmassy.
Oh. Well, this is better than Christmas. This is The Office.
This is The Office.
Yes.
And so we're going to let you lead.
Oh, no, it's your show. Go ahead. Which one did you watch first? Safety Training?
Wait a minute. But isn't the title Mandy and Me?
I mean, I'll take over. Go ahead and mute yourself. Has anybody seen The Office? I didn't write down the episode number, but I believe it's season 3. I want to say 18. It's Safety Training. We're going to do that one first.
Yes. And I accidentally, hopefully everybody, if anybody watched and is going to, well, right now we're alone, but those that tune in later, if they don't shoot me, I accidentally put episode 30, but I did put the title. So I got that part right.
Safety Training. What did you watch it on? Why don't you tell people, since we are officially out of Netflix?
Oh, I watched it on, I got it. Don't you remember? I got it on Vudu. I text you.
I don't know if the rest of the world, all of our fans, our one fan, if they know how you watched it.
Yeah, I text you at 3:30 in the morning.
I recall.
To tell you that I got the entire season on Vudu for $10.
Season or series?
Oh yeah, series. Yeah, the entire series, all nine seasons.
Bargain.
Like $1.33 or something like that, or $1.20, something like that.
Yeah, that's a deal. Now,
so,
is Vudu free, or do you subscribe monthly to that?
It's free. I mean, basically anything that's on there. You can rent. You can rent off there, but I mean, it's like I got my account started because I'd go buy a movie and it'd come with a digital code for digital copy, and then I'd have a digital backup on Vudu. So, and if I go somewhere, I don't have to take movies with me so much. I can just log into Vudu and watch it there. And you can buy stuff straight from them. They have sales all the time. $10 that I got, I've only seen it the one time. But I have seen it go on sale for as little as $30 for the entire season.
Yeah. I bought the box set maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
But I haven't had to open it yet. Thank goodness. It's still sealed, and it's in our foyer in our cabinet.
Blu-ray or regular
family pictures. It's just regular DVDs. It's got family pictures, like his mom, my grandparents, and then all my office stuff in the shelf below that.
Well, Steve Carell's family, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Well, I watched it on Netflix because I knew we were going to do this, and then I watched it again on Peacock. Which, by the way, people, if you don't have Peacock, it is well worth it because there's deleted scenes, there's all kinds of bonus stuff. It's well worth getting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, they should do a little extra if you're getting it off of a streaming service.
Yeah.
And they certainly, they actually own the show, so
yeah,
I guess they would have access. Now, what's the news about you said something about possible reunion?
I saw that on Facebook. I don't know how true it is. I mean, I don't know how true it is. They just said that Greg Daniels had been in talks with John Krasinski and Steve Carell and Jenna Fisher, because they were the three, who were the most standoffish. Then they were all on board to come back.
Oh wow!
We'll see.
Are any of them doing anything?
I don't know. I think Jenna Fisher and Angela Kenzie are doing a podcast, Office Ladies podcast, but I haven't seen anybody else in anything recently.
Well, Krasinski, isn't he? He's doing now watch me like that. He's doing the Tom Clancy type show on Amazon, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think Jen watched it. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, and then
He's not
last,
but I don't care what he's doing.
and then I think the last we saw of Steve Carell was in Irresistible. But he's also didn't he also have a show on Netflix?
Oh yeah, Space Force, which I actually had to give that a second try because I didn't like it at first, and I had to rewatch it. But it was worth it once I rewatched it. I had to get into the mindset that it wasn't The Office, and give it a chance. Yeah, but it's good. I think it got renewed for another season too.
Yeah, I saw I'm blanking on the character name, and I can't remember the actor's name either. He was in a movie. It's the accountant guy. The guy that was trying to guess the beans, and he's an accountant and couldn't do it.
Kevin. Brian Baumgartner.
Yes. Oh, I know what it is.
What?
So there's a movie coming up, a kind of an independent film that is, well, it should be good for me because it's dealing with kind of growing up with like Christian rock bands in the 80s.
Yeah.
And he's got a role in the movie as a manager or something of like a rock band.
Really?
And I noticed him in there, and I thought that's the dude from The Office.
Wow.
And so I think is that called Electric Jesus or something like that?
I have never heard of it.
Well, it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
I think they're still. I don't think it's out yet. And I don't know if COVID's holding it up. I know I saw a Kickstarter for the soundtrack.
Okay.
But
cool.
And I've seen trailers, but I don't know what they're planning on doing about getting it released. That's with COVID, it just seems like it's weird. It's really weird to know how they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think studios are still trying to figure out exactly how they're going to get their movies out. Yes, Eric, we are talking The Office.
Yay! Hi, Eric.
Oh
my God.
He's going to start with that again.
He had me so worked up. I don't remember what we were reviewing, but yeah.
Yeah, when we wrap, I will try to send you a video from his channel. I think you'd, even if you don't like, even if you're not a music collector, he has such a natural, easygoing demeanor. He's entertaining to watch.
Okay, I'll check him out.
Regardless, and his Eric and his girlfriend Veronica, they do a really good thing. And then of course he also has other buddies like Anthony, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Okay.
It's a good little. He does some good stuff.
All right, I'll check him out.
Parks and Rec is his favorite show.
Parks and Rec.
Did I hear like a woo-saw over there or something?
That's my second favorite show. It is a great show. It is.
Any show is better with Rashida Jones.
Except for The Office, yes. She's great in Parks and Rec, but I don't like her in The Office at all.
I still, anytime I think about Rashida Jones, I always think about that one line Steve Carell said to her.
Was your dad a GI?
Yeah, you look ethnic. Was your dad in the army?
I wish that I could turn my camera around and show Eric. I have a jewelry box right behind me that one side of it is all the office stickers and the other side of it is all Parks and Rec stickers.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we're
All
going
right.
to talk. You said we're going to talk about safety
Training.
training.
That's the first one we watched, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you remember anything about it?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I will admit, like I was telling Amanda right before we went on, I have been having horrible problems sleeping. So when I went to watch it, I
You
was
just told me
drowsy at
full
first.
name.
But then I finally snapped out of it. But yeah, I love it. We don't we open that show down in the warehouse with Daryl.
It opens with Andy actually. Ed Helms. He's coming back from anger management. And
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
he wants everybody to
And he
call
was
him
going by
Drew.
another name.
Drew. Yeah.
Drew.
Or trying to go by another name, and they weren't going for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jim said, "I'm not going to call you that." And I thought, "Come on, Jim. That's kind of just that was kind of mean."
Yeah. My favorite part in that is when Dwight he's actually shunning Andy for 3 years. Shunning is like slapping with silence.
All right. So is Dwight actually Amish?
No. He
Okay.
grew up on a farm around them all, like a beet farm. And well, now he runs his own beet farm, but I don't know. I don't think he's Amish. I think he was raised in like German tradition.
Okay. Yeah, because it just seems like everything keeps coming back to that lifestyle
Yeah.
for him.
So then we go to it's safety training day at the office. So Michael takes everybody downstairs to the warehouse.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we
We find out that Michael's not allowed to drive the forklift.
nope. and you don't want to be on a ladder
Yeah.
anytime that Michael's around.
Yes. He knocked there, or he pulled it out from underneath Daryl and yelled, "How's it hanging?"
Oh my gosh. And yeah, but I love Daryl just telling him no.
He's real persistent on trying to be able to use the baler too, and that's funny.
Oh yeah. And then you almost wondered if something was going to happen to White because he kept like leaning his head over into that.
Yeah, looking into it. Yeah, and I like his when they're talking about the baler, and Michael says, "Baler, I hardly know her." That's hilarious. If
Yeah,
y'all didn't notice, Dale gave me a rating, so I'm allowed to say. How do I get my finger that way? I'm allowed to say things like that now.
yeah. Well, we're like I threw up the PG because yeah, just so we can give us a little bit more latitude, but we're still not going to get crazy. This is
That
still...
wasn't crazy. That was mild.
Of course, I still hold the record for saying the most disgusting thing by far.
You do. And having to be censored. I've never had to be censored, so we should move that rating over to.
Oh, should that be above my head?
Yeah.
Because yeah, well, that was a live stream.
That was, yeah. I still go back and watch that. That's funny.
Never forget. Yeah, so we find out that
have a sneezing fit. Now I'm having a sneezing fit. Ugh.
So that kind of sets up, I guess, a competition. Now Michael's got to do a
so they go
do
upstairs.
his part.
Yeah.
And he's got to outdo Daryl.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that Toby is giving the presentation, and Michael hates Toby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that presentation was pretty lame.
Carpal tunnel syndrome was the worst problem that they had.
Yeah. I don't think I could listen to Toby for more than about the minute.
Yeah. And then
One
I like
jerked off.
when Michael says, well, so they've got depression, carpal tunnel syndrome, and heart disease. And Michael says, heart disease kills more people than Baylor's.
Yeah. I loved it when he said, well, I didn't interrupt you guys. Yes, you did. You did. Oh, man.
So Daryl and his guys walk out. And then that comes, it goes to one of the talking heads of Michael. And this is another one of my favorite lines where he's like, Daryl thinks he's so cool because he works in a warehouse. I've worked in a warehouse. Men's warehouse.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I
took
will.
notes. I guess you didn't take notes.
I
said I took notes. I'm assuming you did.
Well, I appreciate that because in the state of almost unconsciousness that I was going through, I don't think I could have. But yeah, Daryl's one of my favorite characters on there.
I always try to figure. I mean, obviously Michael's my favorite, but I always try to figure, who's my favorite, and I just can't. Like, they're all.
Well, it was so impeccably cast.
Yeah.
Everybody on there is brilliant in their own way, and brought so much to the show. But and Daryl just, well, I guess what I like about it is because Daryl's cool and Michael wants to be as cool as Daryl, and he has no hope whatsoever. What Daryl brings is that it's like if you drop somebody with actual sense into their world.
Yeah.
I guess Jim brings that too, but he plays with them.
Yeah, Which I always thought our relationship at work, you were my Dwight and I was the Jim, because I tried to torment you the same way.
Okay.
Now we go to Pam. She's trying to make Michael feel better, saying that they had visuals downstairs and that's why their presentation was better.
And that gives Michael the inspiration, I guess, to try to
jump off the roof. Yeah.
Jump off the roof.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I have to tell you, the scenes that were shot on the roof kind of mess with me a little bit.
Really?
Because I really do. I have an incredible fear of heights. I mean, terrible. And just the thought of going over the side of that roof made my knees weak. And of course, Michael's talking about jumping off the roof onto a bouncy castle. And
first he was going to go on the trampoline.
Huh?
First he was going to go on the trampoline.
Yeah. Oh wow. I wonder if a person could actually survive.
I don't know. My uncle, I don't know if he's watching this or not, Scott, one time jumped off of a garage. So he dressed up as Batman for a birthday party, jumped off of a garage onto a trampoline, bounced backwards, and busted his head open on the back of the thing, and then bounced up again. And then he still went and talked to all the kids and stuff while he was bleeding. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Man,
I'm gonna have to tell him to watch this. He was mentioned.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time with getting to the top of step ladders.
Really?
I've done a few things where I've gotten on a roof to help my stepdad do some kind of project, but it's rough. It's really rough. And I learned that as a kid because we would even before Kentucky. I mean, we're talking back in Washington D.C. when I was a real little kid, because I was born in D.C. and as a little kid I was in Alexandria, Virginia, and so they got the Capitol Center there in Washington D.C. And so we went to an event there. I can't remember if it was Ice Capades or the rodeo or something like that. We went to some kind of event like that, and we had nosebleed seats. And walking up the steps as a little kid, it really messed with me.
Oh wow.
And and yeah, so I've always had a fear of heights, and so you won't see me really standing on too much that's too far off the ground.
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to always get John to try to let me go up in the lift up to the top of the steeple. He would never let me go, but
Wow. Well, you remember the oh boy, we're gonna alienate everybody
we ramble.
that doesn't know our world, but you remember those incredibly steep steps that went down into the second basement
Mm-hmm.
over there,
Yeah.
and they had like no handrails. I hated that. Now I went up and down those steps a couple times, but I absolutely hated it.
Oh, they weren't that bad. I was more afraid because that's where I kept all my Christmas stuff. Was over there. I was more afraid of the bugs and stuff than the steps.
All right, we got Dan Powers in here. Yeah. So
Reel us back in. Where were we?
yeah, we were definitely kind of going off course there. So where were we? We're on top of the roof, and
Yes.
they're contemplating
They're throwing watermelons.
jumping off.
Yeah. So he throws a watermelon to see how far it'll bounce, and it bounces and then hits a car.
Hit the car. Oh man.
Where are we then? Okay, so then they decide to get a bouncy house. So Dwight has to lift his shun and ask Andy.
And talk to Andy.
Yeah. I like that he does it unshunned. Where else are we at? Okay, so then Dwight runs into the office and he tells everyone that Michael's on the roof and he's suffering from depression. And he gets everybody to come outside to see what's going on with Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we get to the, oh, my life, everything's wrong, blah, blah, blah. The stress of my modern office has caused me to go into a depression. And then there's the line. Are we allowed to say it?
Yeah, go say it.
You say it. Do it.
I can't remember the dialogue leading up to it.
I just gave it to you. Depression, isn't that just a fancy word for feeling bummed out?
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Good God. Now, do you want to go into that since you're the Dan Aykroyd fan?
The Dan Aykroyd. Oh, you know I forgot to watch that clip, but they actually took that line from SNL, right?
Yeah.
Jane Curtin.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
And that's kind of cool. I didn't know that they did kind of homages like that to other shows.
Well, that's one of Michael's favorite things.
Is SNL?
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so and it is a funny line.
Yeah. I have a pillow on my couch that says that.
Yeah, it's the type of thing I could see myself talking, saying to one of my guy friends when we're just hanging out.
Yeah. So Dwight forgot to get the warehouse guys during all that. So Michael sends him back, and he comes back with the warehouse guys, and they redo the whole thing.
Yeah. So did you appreciate it in that Facebook post when I threw that line in there?
What Facebook post?
You didn't see it?
No. What Facebook post?
Oh, well, let me,
Is it the one you told me to go to today?
uh-huh.
I read that.
You didn't see the
Say
line?
anything about ignorant slut in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll pull.
Uh-oh.
Because it was a good rant. I thought it was a pretty good
It
rant.
was a good rant. One of your best, but I didn't see ignorant slut. I think I would have remembered that.
I threw it in there just for you.
Huh.
And I know you read it because you saw the other line that was kind of inspired by you.
I commented on it that you've been hanging out with me too much.
But I am so tired of people calling here. Like I said, I've been having trouble sleeping. And
So everybody
yesterday,
who has Dale's number, call him between the hours of 12 a.m. and 4 a.m.
and yesterday, I had it. I tried to lay down and sleep, and it was like every 10 minutes, my landline was ringing.
Wow. Do you remember when I went to Pennsylvania several years ago, and to mess with you, I wrote for a good time called Del McHenry and your phone number everywhere I stopped?
You didn't really write down my.
I did write down your phone number,
No,
but I
you
guess nobody wanted a good time.
Let's see here. I think I've got it now. But yeah, this was it. Let me expand that a little bit here.
Where? Highlight the ignorant slut. I see my name.
Okay. Let me get these out of the way. All right. So let me just read the rant. It was a good rant.
Okay.
So I'm mad about all these automated calls. So in the last one that showed up on my phone was this Presbyterian USA. So shame on Presbyterian USA, the Republican National Convention, that home security company, AT&T, all the stupid collection companies calling for Bruce what's his name, and anyone else that engages in automated calls. I was trying to take a nap to get rid of a headache, but that can't happen when the phone rings every 10 minutes. Now that I'm up and ready to use language that would make an ex-con blush, where are you? Please call me, you filthy panhandlers. I want to tell you in no uncertain terms that I don't know Bruce. I already use AT&T, but maybe for not much longer. I don't own a house, but if I did, I would burn it down before I'd use your stupid alarm system.
Is that from me?
Fucking corporate socialists give us $600 in stimulus, and you have the nerve to ask for some back. And I'm not even Presbyterian, so why are you bothering me, you ignorant sluts?
Huh. I missed that. I saw the burning down, and I thought that's why I said you've been hanging out with me too much.
And if I can't get a moment's sleep during a global pandemic, when can I get it? That's when I said I needed some Tylenol and more carbs and more good for me.
See, look, I commented. Go to your comments. I read it.
Yeah, you right down here. You've been hanging out with me for too long. Yeah. Anything regarding pyromania.
Burn it down.
Huh?
Burn it down.
And I think of you.
Okay. Now, Creed has now noticed the bouncy castle on the other side.
Yeah.
Jim and Pam get concerned and tell him not to do it, and they try to trick him into coming down. Pam tells him she's got him a present and he needs to come down and get it. And then that's when Daryl gets on the, what are those things called? The big loud things.
Oh, the megaphone?
Megaphone, okay. He tells him to come down, tells him he's Braveheart.
Oh, I love that line.
Yeah.
I am Braveheart.
And then he finally comes down and he says, I saved a life today, my own. Am I a hero? I really can't say. But yes.
Yeah.
And then it ends with Stanley walking out and seeing that was his car. That they dropped
the watermelon on. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. I like Stanley. Did he have health issues recently or something? Is
Nothing
he
I'm
okay?
aware of. He's fat, or
Oh, okay.
but
Oh, is he?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought I'd heard something that he
No,
had.
he didn't have health issues. He had like hate crime issues. Like people were putting all kinds of terrible stuff on his page because they did a Kickstarter for a new for a spinoff called Uncle Stan,
Uh
and they raised all the money and all that. So I'm assuming it's going to happen. But people were putting just terrible stuff on his page and in the comments of his Kickstarter and all that. So that was on the news. But that's the last I heard about him.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad to know he's doing all right then. I don't know what I heard.
Oh, I think it was that.
I'm old,
You
as
are.
you like to point out, and so I forget things. Vince saying something about the big loud things.
I don't know what they're called. Is he talking about the megaphone? Is that what it's called? Megaphone?
Uh, me- Megaphone, or I think there's another word for them, maybe a more
Big
correct
loud thing.
term.
Yeah.
um, yeah, that was a good episode.
That was my
Like
favorite
that.
episode.
That's your favorite?
My favorite episode. I picked my two favorites for this thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought the dinner party was exceptional too.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Definitely. Are we jumping right in?
Shall we?
Okay. So it starts off. They're all working late and they're all complaining. And Michael asked Jim, like he's telling how bad it sucks. Like, did this ruin your plans for tonight? Did you have plans? And Jim says, no, I didn't have any plans. So Michael takes his opportunity to fake a call into corporate and tell them that they're not working late, they're leaving.
Yeah.
Then invites Jim over to dinner because he just told him they didn't have plans. And there was
Yeah.
no way he could back out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
And
brilliant.
yeah, and Jim got caught.
Yeah. And then poor Dwight's upset. And Michael tells him he can't come because they only have 6 wine glasses. And he's invited with Jim and Pam and Andy and Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then we went pretty quickly to their apartment, right?
Condo, yes.
Or condo, yeah.
And
then
then
it
Pam
got good.
comes in and gives Jan a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
She's, oh, this would be great for cooking.
I was, I'm not a wine guy. I don't drink alcohol. So when she said that, I thought that sounded like a cut.
Yeah.
So I guess wines that you would cook with are inferior to actual
Or
drinking
like
wines.
cheap by comparison. Yeah.
Okay.
So then it goes to they're taking the tour of the place.
Right.
You see Jan's
She has,
workspace.
yeah, she has both an office and a workspace.
Yeah. Full of candles. And then you go to the master bedroom and you see poor Michael's little bed at the end.
Like, yeah, he fits just perfect. I'm thinking in a fetal position.
Yeah. And then I thought about you with this next one with the plasma TV. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, I would die with a TV that small.
So what was it like? We had bigger TVs than that in where we worked.
Oh yeah.
I think they were only about 13 inches. So
I just wondered how hard it was for them to find a TV that small.
yeah, but he's so proud of it, and he's got it mounted on the wall.
And then it retracts and goes back toward the wall.
Yeah.
Gives them another 3 inches.
Yeah. So then Angela, and Andy show up, and that's when Jim and Pam realize that she hasn't even started dinner yet. Or well, it's been started, but it has to braise for 3 hours.
Yeah.
What even is ossobuco? That's what she made. I've never heard of it.
I don't know.
Hmm.
That's a place?
No, it's what she was making to eat.
Oh, to eat. I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know. Anybody watching know what that is? Do we got anybody watching?
Well, if Eric is still watching, I don't know if he is, but he's a chef.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't know what it is, but that's what she made. And apparently it needed to braise for 3 hours.
Okay. And so then it kind of got awkward because at that point all six of them were sitting in the living room, right?
Yeah. And Jan plays that CD.
Yeah, she got up and puts on the CD and starts dancing around. And this is where I realized it's been a while since I've watched The Office because I had forgotten how amazing. Oh, Vin says it is an Italian veal roast.
Gross.
So, yeah, I had forgotten how amazing they were at creating awkwardness. That is virtually.
Well,
I mean,
realize part of why it's so awkward is because the CD that she plays is Hunter, who used to be her assistant.
Right.
Yeah, and Michael assumed that they had something going on.
Well, and that's what I assumed from that. But it's like the awkwardness is so palpable that it's almost painful.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm wanting to cringe. I'm almost wanting to look away. And it's a show. I know it's a show. I know it's actors doing their job, but they're so good at it that it's almost hard to watch them be that awkward with one another.
Yeah. So then they play charades. Terrible. And then Jim decides to fake a call and say that his apartment flooded.
Oh, I love that part. Yeah. I loved it because I love the part where, well, it doesn't take two of you.
Yeah.
And he was gonna leave her.
I know. She was even like, "You can't leave," or what did she say? "You can't leave this party all alone," or something like that. So then, our Pam gets cold, and Michael gives her his jacket, and then it starts.
You see her glaring. She's already been making remarks at her.
Yeah.
And that's hysterical.
Yeah. So and then Jan tells the story about the sliding glass door and how Michael heard the ice cream man and ran through it, which is hilarious. But have you ever walked through a door because it was so clean, or walked into a door because it was so clean?
I can't remember offhand, but I know I've watched YouTube videos where people walking in.
Well, Brandy did maybe, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago. Ran straight through a door, head busted and everything. It was crazy.
Oh wow! Well, didn't you do that on set?
Moi?
Yeah.
I've never ran through a door. No.
Didn't you tell me about a movie where you were an extra in, and you were like an emergency, an EMS worker, and you ran into the.
Oh, I did on Mom and Dad. Yes, I did. You were supposed to run with this gurney, yeah, and the door closed too fast. It wasn't because it was too clean.
Oh, okay.
And I just met Vin, so that was super. I don't even know if he remembers it, but that was super embarrassing. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, I thought it was I thought it was a cool story when you told me.
Where are we at?
And what was that movie?
Mom and Dad with Nicolas Cage. It's at the very end. I actually don't even think that my face made it onto the onto the screen. I think it was cut.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you can see Vin for a second, though. So then all the girls go to the kitchen, and the boys go out to the garage, and Michael tries to get them to invest in Jan's candle company.
Yeah.
Then the doorbell rings, and Dwight shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was
Uncomfortable.
yeah. And thinking about that woman he brought to dinner.
Yeah, he said he was his babysitter.
Yeah, and she looked Amish.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh, wait a minute. This is Vin.
yeah,
Why I
I
love her.
completely forgot about that story until you brought that up. That was like 4 years ago.
But her face was implanted in that glass door.
Completely forgot about that.
Oh, wow. But,
It
yeah.
didn't work. The door
Huh?
didn't work. The door didn't work. Like it would open and close on its own. It was terrible. Anyway,
Yeah.
where are we at?
We were talking about Dwight and this woman.
Yeah. Yeah, that was super weird.
Yeah. And, and Jim asking her
Oh, for her email.
for her email.
Yeah.
And she clearly didn't wasn't that technologically advanced.
So then I guess Dwight or Jan and Michael are going back and forth about Dwight being there. And then they get into the conversation of his vasectomies.
Oh. Snip, snip, snap.
3 times. Snip, snap, snip, snap, snip, snap. Yeah. And then it goes straight to the dinner table from there, and there's still no food out yet. But Dwight's sitting there eating his own turkey leg that he brought.
And then he went and got that beer light.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, and that was right after he dipped his meat. I never seen anybody do that. Dip their meat in their wine glass. Have you?
No, I've never seen it before. He says he has soft teeth. Whatever. And then he also whispered to Pam that he thinks Jan's trying to poison him.
Oh yeah. She was in the bathroom saying, "Well, if she was going to poison anyone, it would be me, right? His ex-lover."
Yeah. Yeah. So then he gets mad because she says something about his food and wine, and then he goes and gets his St. Pauli's Girl beer sign, hangs it up.
Yeah.
So then she jumps up and plays Hunter's song again.
And then grabs his Dundee.
Yeah, and throws it at the TV.
Oh. He loves that TV.
Yes. He loves his Dundies too.
Yeah.
And then it goes to everybody's leaving finally. And the police are outside.
I love that part.
And they end up making Michael leave, so he gets stuck going home with Dwight.
Yeah. And but when they were getting up from the, when it was over, what did Dwight say to that woman that he came with? Beat it or something like that?
I think he said beat it, yeah. Or I don't think it was even, she hadn't even thrown the Dundee yet, I don't think. I think it was just getting heated. They were getting back and forth, and she ends up leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought Dwight showing so much contempt for this woman that came with him.
Yeah.
And that kind of cracked me up too. And then so then they Jim stole the CD.
Yeah, that was funny.
And they do that montage type thing.
Yeah.
And then there's Michael and Dwight in the car, and that woman is on the bus stop.
Oh yeah, that poor thing. And then he won't even look at her, Dwight. He just looks straight at the light, waiting for it to change.
Yeah. So yeah, there's so much there.
And then it gives you a inside look at Andy and Angela too, and they look happy, like they're sitting in their car eating ice cream, and they look like they're happy. And Andy reaches over and takes a bite out of Angela's, and she just jabs it into the side of his car. And
Yeah, that's not one of the more endearing episodes for Angela
yeah,
because what little bit that she really got to do anything, what did she do? She stabbed Pam in the back
yeah,
because when what's her name was accusing Pam of having something going on with Michael, she was like, "I saw how you look at him."
yeah, yeah. And she said, and sometimes I think she holds on to faxes. Yeah, yeah. She's
Yeah,
not. It's so funny. I follow her on Instagram, and it's just so funny to see how different she is than her character. She just seems so bubbly and funny and nice.
yeah. I saw her on I think it was Craig Ferguson once, and she came in on roller skates.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I like her.
What about? I've never heard you talk much about Jan Melora. What is her name? Melora Hardin.
Yeah. What her as an actress or her as
Yeah.
Jan?
Well, either how she plays Jan or
She
as an
plays
actress.
Jan wonderfully. Like they make you hate her. Did you know? There's a good fact for you that was going to be. God, I'm going blank. Amy Poehler.
Really?
But their chemistry was too good. Like that, she just couldn't play Jan, and that's why she got Parks and Rec.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Because
So
she would have ended up with Michael had she played Jan. You know what I mean? They were too alike.
yeah, yeah. I think it. I think yeah. I think Maloran was definitely the better choice
Oh
for.
yeah, yeah,
She
she was perfect.
definitely pulled that off, but she's in another movie that I like. That's very low budget. She did a movie called Knucklehead,
Never
and
heard of it.
it starred a WWE wrestler named The Big Show. He's like 7'4", uh,
Wow.
probably 350 to 400 pounds. I mean, he's a big man,
Huh.
and he was playing a misfit orphan guy that had grown up in the that had grown up in a orphanage, I guess, run by the Catholics,
Yeah.
and they something was going to happen to the orphanage. He's and he and this other guy that was on Royal Pains that he was managing him, and they were doing like it was like a road trip movie where their big goal is to go down and make money with him in some big MMA fight.
Huh.
But he's never done anything like that. So they're having little fights as they go down, and he like wrestles a bear
Oh Lord. Well,
and
that's another good thing about Peacock is that it has a section when you scroll down. It just says like Office alum, and it shows you different movies or TV shows, whatever that all of them have been in. That you
yeah.
can watch.
But Maloran Hardin, she played kind of like I forget exactly how she got involved with the two of them, but she played a very sympathetic character in that, and I thought that it showed great range because she was very far from
Jan.
playing Jan, the kind of
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'd like to see her in something else.
yeah.
I think she's great.
Yeah, and I like that movie. I thought it was funny. It's a comedy,
Okay.
and but it didn't do much. It was actually done. The WWE actually has put money into movies. It was that part of that's because Dwayne Johnson got so big,
Yeah.
and so they kind of started the WWE pictures, which typically don't do a whole lot, but I guess they do enough because they keep doing them. And she was in that, and yeah, I liked her in that. But I haven't seen her in too much else,
Yeah, I haven't either.
so I don't know why not because she's a good actress.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
then
Very
again, you don't see much of the Office cast uh, outside of Steve Carell.
I don't think they
And
really have to. Like, I mean, I'm sure they're making enough money to. They don't
yeah,
need it.
oh, I'm sure they don't need it, but you would
Yeah.
think that they would do more with some of those actors.
Yeah.
They do because uh, Krasinski's first name again,
John,
John. Yeah. Now he seems to be doing okay,
he is doing okay for himself. Yeah. I think
but
he's probably doing the best. He's probably doing better than Steve Carell.
you think?
I mean, not look wise, but success wise, yeah.
Oh, look wise. So you actually do you think that if it ever came down to Steve or John, do you think like a sexiest man in the world type competition, like for like People Magazine,
Yeah.
you think
Who?
Steve would actually beat John?
Well, first of all, Vin Morelli would beat all of them. But then, yes,
Oh wow,
Steve Carell would absolutely beat John Krasinski. Yes.
wow, that's how that works.
That's how that works. Yep.
All right, and where does Martin Short fit in there?
He doesn't even make the list. Moving on.
Oh, Steve Martin?
No? What?
I
You
don't
want to
know.
know the sexiest man
I'm
alive?
trying to
Okay. It goes Vin Morelli, Steve Carell, Jason Bateman, Robert Downey
Jason
Jr.
Bateman.
Yeah.
Jason. All right, Jason Bateman's third.
Yeah. Robert Downey Jr.
Okay,
Okay.
so with Jason Bateman ahead of Iron Man?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then Zach Galifianakis,
I mean, I don't know if he'd be, fourth, but he's up there.
and then Don Adams.
Don Adams he's dead though, but yeah. I can't believe you remembered I had a thing for Don Adams. That's weird.
Yeah, well, I think we were talking. Remember, Steve Carell did Get Smart,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so I think we had talked about the original TV show.
Yeah. Secret
And
Agent 86. I loved it.
yeah, so I remember.
I wish that was streaming somewhere. We should look into that. I'd love to watch all that again.
Oh, all of yeah, because those that was a great show. That
Yeah.
was a great show, and I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was based off of. I think Mel Brooks created it.
Really?
Yeah, and have you watched much Mel Brooks?
Mm-mm.
Oh man, do you want to talk about a great comedic director uh,
Really?
or creator? Yeah, he was responsible for Blazing Saddles.
Never seen it.
Oh, really? It
Mm-mm.
is one of the most un-PC. It's one of those movies you look at and can't believe that it was made when it was made.
Really?
Yeah, and he
Who's in
also
it?
Spaceballs.
I've seen Spaceballs.
Yeah, and High Anxiety. And why is my brain just going blank? But Yeah, he had a lot of. Oh, he did Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Yeah, seen that. Cool.
and I
You don't know.
can't remember, but yeah, one of these days, I guess we should. We'll probably have to keep the PG label up, but
Yeah, I was just thinking we got 5 minutes left. What are we doing next?
I was going to say if someday we do Blazing Saddles, we would need that PG.
Okay.
Probably need that PG label, but it was amazing movie for its time. Uh, what are we doing?
I don't know. I had to give Dale an ultimatum, people, and say I'm gonna quit. We're doing The Office. That's it.
Well, there's Eric. Yeah, Robin Hood Men in Tights
I
was
think I
really
saw it in the theater also, Eric. That's
fun.
funny. I remember seeing it in the theater.
With the young Dave Chappelle. Was he in that?
No. Maybe I'm thinking of a different Robin Hood.
I can't remember exactly when that came out, but I can't. Dave Chappelle was in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Eric, while you're on here, give us something to do next week.
Uh,
Throw something out there.
Now I need to get in contact with him and talk about maybe doing some movies with him too, because he and I probably connect more on the nerd movies.
Oh, so you're gonna replace me?
No, and
Mm-hmm.
replacing
Eric and me.
this,
It's gonna
but
be Eric and me on Dolphin and Dale.
huh?
Whatever.
Nobody replacing you.
I will burn this live
Saying that
stream to the
there are
ground.
movies that Eric and I could probably cover that you would not enjoy.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you would want to do. What was the one I was thinking?
Dale, you have no idea how high I can fly.
Yeah, I can't see you doing the Last Dragon with me or
I've seen The Last Dragon.
with Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, I loved it. It's one of my favorite movies.
You're messing with me now.
I'm not. I've seen it multiple times. Sometimes I put it on like so I can fall asleep at night.
And who did he fight?
The dragon, the last one.
Yeah. All right. So he's talking about Over the Top. Are you talking about
the arm wrestling movie?
Yeah.
I love that movie. I've seen that.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. With freaking Sylvester Stallone and the boy and the semi trucks. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Love it. Yeah. Yeah.
They actually that's actually a plot that
You haven't seen it?
he arm wrestles for the custody of his child.
He arm wrestles to make money to buy a truck so he can support his child because the child's grandfather's raising him. I have legit seen this movie.
Oh wow! It sounds
Yeah.
like you have. I'm shocked. That's not a movie I would put.
I don't know why, but I've seen it multiple times. Yeah. When I was a kid, this is going to be a poor story. We didn't have cable, so we just had like a select bunch of movies that we watched over and over and over. I don't know how we acquired that movie, but it was one of them. Yeah.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's I would not have guessed that one.
And you've never seen it?
Huh?
You've never seen it?
Nope.
You thought I was just making that up?
One of the great villains of all time. Shogun, the Shogun of Harlem. Yeah. Yeah. So, gosh, I don't know. Over the Top?
I mean, we'd have to see if it's even streaming anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll probably have to bounce around some ideas. What are you in the mood for? We've
Oh, I
been
don't
to
care.
Christmas movies.
I got what I wanted with The Office, so what you can pick.
All right, so I guess we'll probably not announce that tonight.
Okay.
Um, but so it's been fun.
It was. That went by fast. I only yawned a couple times.
Trying to think if we have any announcements to make. I got. I'll be having a live stream Friday night, 9 o'clock, with Value Vinyl Steve. We'll be talking NFL football. Um, yeah, did you watch the last couple minutes of that live stream I told you to, where Steve was?
Talking bad about me? No, I didn't.
Oh no!
What's he talking bad about?
Hey,
Me? Me
yeah.
personally? Like taking personal shots at me?
Well, they might have been fairly personal.
Because I have his address. I hope he knows that.
Yeah, and I've tried to. I thought he understood that you are a dangerous woman. You
I
know,
am.
not to get on your bad side,
Hmm.
but
Well, send me the link to the video because you only have 15,000 on your channel, so I don't have to scroll.
15,000 videos have been watched 4 or 5 times.
Unless your star is in them, and then they get hundreds of views.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
104.
Yeah, well, but we haven't cracked 100 in a few.
I know. Well, the Christmas story was going to be a record breaker
It,
until
it was
back.
I don't know about a record breaker, but it probably had a good 75 views before I had to yank it.
We were at 60 something when we signed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it had gotten up to about 70 when I pulled it to edit it
That would have been a good one.
because of my foul mouth.
Yeah. Because of your PG. That was rated R.
That wasn't even PG. That wasn't close to PG. I can't believe that I actually blurted that out and found out how filthy it really was. Oh my gosh. It will be one of my most embarrassing moments ever, probably.
I'm going to put it.
Better knock on wood.
You remember that eulogy I wrote for you several years ago?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to update it to include that story.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Okay.
Well, we probably ought to get off here before we bore everybody to death with our personal stuff.
All right.
So it was a. Eric says, "Are you swearing up a storm?" Eric, I have to tell you privately about the.
Go 12 minutes in.
Call it an acronym.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go 12 minutes into the Christmas story video.
Yeah, it happened during the Christmas story live stream, and I thought it was kind of weird because, we had that one live stream on oh shoot, planes, trains, and automobiles, and we had that technical difficulty, and it made me and we couldn't talk back and forth and and so then we did the Christmas story live stream, and it's about a kid singing. One of the under stories is that he's saying inappropriate things, and here I use this filthy acronym. And
you should have put "oh fudge" across it instead of censored.
Yeah, well, my editing skills still need improving. I mean, if I could have. If my editing still, I should have let Value Vinyl do that one because Steve can do a little bit better than I can. But
let's see if Steve wants to get in on the next week.
Okay, I'll talk to him about that. Okay. Yeah, or maybe I'll talk to Eric about joining us sometime.
Okay, yeah,
that'd be cool. All right, well, we're going to sign off for now, and hope everybody enjoyed it. And we will see you soon with something.
Something Wednesday.
Yep. All right.